let's talk about phase 2. But first off, I just want to know your impressions on like phase 1. Like, how did you feel like that played out with the 10-man dungeon and like only 3 bosses in 25-man?
You know, I get why it was a necessary part of the game, because even if the Blizz-like timeline of release was having tier 5 in the game right from the start, in the modern era, nobody would have cared about tier 4 if they'd released tier 5 at the same time, right? Everybody would have just done tier 4 until you got the bare minimum to go to SSCTK, and then they never would have touched tier 4 ever again. So, I mean, I get why they did it. They had to, number one, extend the life of the game by doing that. And number two, they wanted to make sure that like the content from tier 4 was meaningful by just basically artificially gating it. But I mean, the sentiment I get from most people, and definitely my opinion on it, was there's a reason why the game never released originally with just those raids, because doing essentially 2 glorified Onyxias and doing 2 glorified Onyxias and only a 10-man like full length raid for, what was it, like 3.5 months or something, got very old very fast. And
going from 40-man raids to like a 10-man and a couple bosses in 25, I felt like was just insane. Yeah,
exactly. It'd have been one thing if Karazhan was a 25-man raid, but the fact that we didn't have a full length 25-man raid and all you had was the 10-man full length, it was rough. And I get why they had to release a phase like that, but if anything, I think it should have been maybe 2 months long at most. I think them dragging it out for about 4 months. Yeah, it was way too long. It was a good chance to level alts, I guess, but
it was good for that because I did get alts leveled up. So I mean, it was good for that. But
but at that point, nobody wanted to level anything because they had just dungeon grinded their way through leveling their first character. It was like, maybe I'll check out the quests, I guess.
Yeah, and then everyone has a preference, but at least to me, I don't find 10-man raiding nearly as fun as 25-man raiding. So when you're consistently looking forward to the, it's raid night every week, it was kind of underwhelming to think, okay, well, it's raid night, we get to do Karazhan. It was good. It was cool, like a dungeon.
It felt like a dungeon.
It felt like a glorified UBRS basically, because it's the same size, right?
It gets a little more fun with the group or with the raid wide buffs in Wrath, because like you can build like a pretty set team. Like 10-man actually turns into like, oh, you want a melee cleave or you want a caster cleave. Like, you can kind of do some cool shit in 10-man's.
I was not talking about Wrath yet.
Yeah, true. Thank you very much for checking out Warcraft Reloaded podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any future content.